So I'm going to turn it over with just one quick question of my own, though, first, on somewhat off the subject, but affects the New York Times. Now, this you probably can go on for a very long time, but let's not. The Wikileaks stuff that we and some other organizations ran, has this really affected the conduct of diplomacy? I thought Robert Gates was the sanest man in Washington when he said that, look, people talk to us and our diplomats, not because they love us or even admire us, but they need us and they have to talk to us. And he kind of shrugged it off to some degree, but do you have any sense from where you sit as to, have there been repercussions from the printing of other than embarrassing a few people who said a few untoward things, real effects?
I think that the effects were modest. The scale of the effects was modest. The valence, or the direction, was negative, so they were modest bad effects, not good effects. And that doesn't mean that there was anything other than a massive act of treason and other unsavory behavior. I mean, the guy who leaked I'm an executive. I said I'm an executive branch wonk at heart. You sign all sorts of very, very clear things, promising that if you are working for the government and have access to government secrets, that you will not do X, Y, and Z, and to betray those confidences is nothing less than a minor act of treason. And so the person who leaked those things is treasonous. Julian Assange is so the person who leaked it is a treasonous thief. Assange is a fence. Assange is shopping around the stolen goods. He's not some big hero. He's not some great theorist. He's a fence. And the newspapers that published it, they're the recipients of stolen property. Now, if it was just one, you'd say you shouldn't have done that. But frankly, because once they were out there, once everyone was going to do it, and since the copy was, pirated and could be digitized and everybody could have it, I don't begrudge the Times or the Guardian or anybody else, because at that point it's not really their choice. They were coerced by professional pressures to actually sort of print them. Once it's out there, it's not. So I save my opprobrium for the in descending order for the guy who leaked it, to the guy who fenced it, and then the other guys. That's it.
Okay, fair enough. Thank God we're at the bottom of that scale. You do have to love it, though, when Julian Assange complained about the leaks of his.
Let me just say one little thing on that, because it's very simple.
What a putz.
I was in a meeting, 1995, something like that. As you said, South Asia is one of the areas that my shop dealt with. And there was a meeting on the Pakistani nuclear program. And at that point, they were getting some ring magnets from China in some weird little sales. And it was helping their nuclear program plan. And we hadn't heard it. We were getting an update in our office from the Intel people. And they were saying, okay, well, here's what's going on, here's what's changed. And somebody asked a question and said, well, we haven't heard anything more from this plant, from this factory, and the rig magnets. Well, why not? What's the update on that? And the guy said, the briefer said to us, well, our source shut up on that. And he did so because the last stuff he gave us, he found on the front page of the Washington Times. There was a reporter for the Washington Times, a guy named Bill Gertz, who was one of these China hawks. At that point, the Republicans were trying to make hay about how bad China was and how the Clinton administration was appeasing them too much. And so they chose to do this by revealing leaked information about the ways that Chinese entities were helping Pakistan in their military program, particularly their nuclear program. And the Pakistani scientist or mole or spy or whoever it was who had been passing us some of the secrets, saw that stuff come out. And he said, you know what? You guys can't keep a secret. And he shut up, as a very sensible, smart person would do in that scenario, because his life was on the line, not us. And that stuck with me, because you know what? Yeah, any big major thing? No. But the fact is, there's a reason these things are secret. Are too many things secret? Yes. But the very fact that we didn't have any great revelations from WikiLeaks is a testimony to how good our reporters actually are. You can't hide dramatic, big, secret things. And the things that are actually, most of the time, seriously secret, deserve to be secret. And it's not the property or the right of people who don't have those clearances and those aspects to reveal them. The public does a very good job of understanding things on their own with a very active media. There's a nice going back and forth, but the fact is that there are consequences. And the fact that the national security catastrophe didn't occur doesn't mean it was not a bad thing to have done.
Well, it was good to discover that a lot of Foreign Service officers can write.
I actually said that to somebody. I got a pitch from somebody.
That was nice.
I got a pitch from somebody one of whose cables was out there in the Wikileaks, and the pitch was a really boring pitch. And I wrote back and I said, I know we're not supposed to say this, but I know you can write. The X cable, famous cable many of us read, is very, no, not the X cable meaning a long cable, I mean, one of the WikiLeaks cables, a particular one was beautifully written. I said, I know you can write. Give me a pitch like that and we'll talk.
Right. We'll do it.